My beloved brothers and sisters, there comes a point in life where you realize, no matter how many words you use, no matter how sincere your efforts, some people will still misunderstand you. They'll twist your silence. They'll question your choices. They'll doubt your path. And you start to wonder, do I really have to keep explaining myself just to be accepted? Let me tell you something very important today. You see, every time you try to justify your journey to people who were never meant to walk it, you lose a little piece of your peace. You start carrying burdens that were never yours. You begin to edit yourself, shrink your dreams, and silence your purpose, just to fit someone else's idea of who you should be. But life doesn't work like that. Your soul wasn't created to seek validation from the world. Your heart wasn't made to be measured by shallow opinions, and your growth was never meant to be approved by those who can't even see their own flaws. So today, I invite you to shift your focus inward. Stop explaining, stop justifying, stop proving. Instead, start protecting your focus. Because when you stop scattering your energy into every direction where it isn't valued, you begin to move forward in the one direction that truly matters, the direction that brings you closer to your Lord, closer to peace, closer to growth. People may not understand your silence. They may criticize your decisions. But you know what? That's okay. You were not created for their understanding. You were created for purpose. And when you hold on to that purpose, when you focus instead of explaining, your life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined. Let's reflect now together on 8 life-changing truths that will help you let go of explanation and embrace focus so that you can finally grow. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the hardest lessons we learn in life, and often we learn it painfully, is that not everyone will understand us. Not everyone will see the purity of our intention. Not everyone will appreciate the steps we're taking to become better. And that's okay. You may change your habits. You may walk away from toxic circles. You may seek a deeper connection with your Creator. But there will always be someone who says, "You've changed." Of course you've changed. You were never meant to stay the same. Growth is change. Healing is change. Faith is change. But people who remain stagnant, they won't see your growth as progress. They'll see it as betrayal. And here's what I want you to understand. You don't owe them a breakdown of your every move. You don't need to hold their hand while you walk a path they were never destined to tread. Your journey is unique, tailored by the Almighty, designed with detours and lessons meant just for you. So when you feel alone, when people misjudge you, mock you, or accuse you, remember this, even the prophets were misunderstood. Even they were rejected by their own people. Not because they were wrong, but because truth makes people uncomfortable. You are not here to convince every person. You are here to remain sincere, to walk with humility, and to keep moving, even if no one claps for you, even if no one understands. And know this, the same people who don't understand you today will one day say, "I always knew you would make it." Don't wait for that day. Keep moving, keep growing, keep praying. Because in the end, it's not the world's approval that brings you peace. It's the Almighty's acceptance that truly matters. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, arguing to be right, and reacting to every insult, silence has become a forgotten strength. But it is a strength, not a weakness. You see, when someone misunderstands you or speaks behind your back, your first instinct might be to defend yourself, to explain, to correct them, to make them see what's true. But let me remind you, the one who knows your truth is never blind to your silence. There's a deep beauty in choosing silence over reaction, because silence protects your peace. It guards your heart from bitterness, and it allows your dignity to rise above the noise. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that when a person stays silent in moments of anger or accusation, it's not because they are weak, it's because they are in control. They are not slaves to their emotions. They know that a calm heart is worth more than a winning argument. And remember this, every time you engage in defending yourself to the wrong person, you lose a little bit of your energy. You empower someone else to disturb your inner world. But when you choose silence, you take that power back. You say, "I don't need to prove anything. My peace is not up for debate." So the next time someone tests your patience, misunderstands your intentions, or speaks ill of your journey, take a deep breath. Stay silent, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because silence speaks. And sometimes it says everything. My beloved brothers and sisters, let me ask you something. How much time, how much energy have you spent trying to explain yourself to people who were never willing to understand you in the first place? You explain and they still doubt you. You clarify and they still twist your words. You open your heart and they still question your sincerity. It's exhausting, isn't it? You see, when you constantly explain your every move, your every thought, your every intention, you slowly begin to disconnect from your purpose. You move from living intentionally to living defensively. And when you live defensively, you're no longer focused on what matters. You're focused on what people think about what matters. But here's the truth. You were not created to be in a courtroom every day, defending yourself before a jury of people who don't even know your soul. Your purpose is sacred. It's too precious to be wasted on unnecessary justifications. The more you explain, the more you seek their approval. And the more you seek approval, the more you delay your own growth. This is how people lose years. Years explaining, years defending, years apologizing for being who Allah created them to be. So ask yourself, is this explanation helping your journey or delaying it? Is it opening your heart or draining it? Sometimes silence is not just peace, it's protection. It shields your purpose from being dissected by those who don't even understand what purpose means. You don't have to explain your healing. You don't have to justify your peace. You don't have to convince anyone why you chose to walk away from pain and towards the mercy of your Lord. Let them wonder, let them assume you keep walking. Because your destination is not in their understanding, it's in His guidance. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest sources of inner peace is knowing this simple truth. Your intentions are known to the one who created your heart, even when others misjudge you, even when they doubt your sincerity, even when they say things that make you question yourself. Let them talk, let them assume, because what they see is limited. They only see your actions. But Allah sees what no eye can see. He sees the sleepless nights you endured. He knows the tears you never spoke about. He hears the prayers that trembled in your chest when you had no words left. And so I ask you, why do we exhaust ourselves trying to prove our sincerity to those who can't even read our hearts? Why do we beg for validation from those who don't even see the battles we silently fight? You are not defined by someone else's misunderstanding. You are defined by your sincerity, your effort, and your connection with your Creator. And Allah never lets sincerity go to waste. Sometimes people will question your decisions. Why did you stop going there? Why don't you talk to them anymore? Why did you walk away? And you'll feel the urge to explain, to pour out every reason, every pain, every boundary you've set. But you don't have to. Because when your heart is sincere and your effort is pure, that is enough. It is enough for your Lord. And that is all that matters. So protect your intention. Don't spoil it by trying to prove it. The more silent your sincerity, the louder its reward. And on the day when all hearts are exposed, your intention will shine, even if no one else saw it. So walk gently, my brother. Walk humbly, my sister. Do it for Allah, not for applause, not for praise, not for them, for Him alone. My beloved brothers and sisters, there's something incredibly powerful about quiet success. When you stop talking and start building, when you stop defending and start rising, when you stop explaining and let the results speak louder than your words ever could. So often, we waste time trying to convince others that we're on the right path. We tell them about our plans, our efforts, our pain, our progress, hoping they'll finally say, we understand. But the truth is, you don't need their understanding. You need your consistency. Because in the end, results have a voice of their own. You don't need to argue with those who doubt you. Just let time reveal what you were working on in silence. Let your growth, your strength, your healing, your peace become the response. When people see the transformation in you, when they witness the calm you carry, when they notice how you no longer chase arguments, how you no longer look for validation, they'll begin to understand. Not because you explain, but because you evolved. And remember, the greatest victories often happen in private. You'll heal, and no one will clap. You'll break free from something that almost destroyed you, and no one will even know. You'll change your entire life, and people will still remember the old you. That's okay, because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the peace that comes with knowing you stayed the course when no one was watching. You stayed grounded when the noise tried to distract you. You stayed focused when others tried to pull you into their confusion. So don't explain, just rise. Let your character be your reply. Let your calm be your proof. And let your success, even if small, even if quiet, be the echo of your silent dedication. My beloved brothers and sisters, every time you focus, you grow. And every time you explain yourself to people who are not ready to understand, you shrink. You become tired, drained, and frustrated, because explaining yourself to the wrong audience is like watering a rock. No matter how much you give, it gives you nothing back. Focus, on the other hand, builds something inside you that no approval can ever replace. It builds character, the quiet, unshakable kind, the kind that keeps you strong in private, the kind that allows you to walk away without bitterness, the kind that helps you say, I don't need to be seen, I need to stay true. When you live your life based on how others interpret you, you lose direction. You wake up thinking, who do I need to satisfy today? But when you choose focus over explanation, something shifts. You no longer live to be understood. You live to fulfill purpose. You wake up thinking, what pleases my Lord today? And here's the beauty. Focus simplifies your life. It teaches you to say no, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. It helps you walk away, not to escape, but to protect your growth. It helps you stay silent, not because you don't have an answer, but because your time is too valuable to waste it on endless debates. But when you keep explaining yourself, you hand over your peace to others. You say, here, take my energy, take my stability, take my calm, just please understand me. And in the end, they still don't. So stop giving people keys to your emotional house. Lock your door with focus, because focus doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to impress. It just needs to stay on the path, one sincere step at a time. And that path, my dear brothers and sisters, leads to character, to strength, and to real inner peace. My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever wondered why someone completely misinterpreted your actions? Why they took something you said with sincerity and turned it into something negative? Why they couldn't see the good you were trying to do? It's because people don't see you as you are. They see you as they are. They judge you from their level of understanding, from their level of pain, from their own past experiences. And this is why explaining yourself to everyone becomes a never-ending cycle. You could say the same thing to two people, and one will feel inspired while the other feels offended. Not because of what you said, but because of what's going on inside them. So instead of exhausting yourself, trying to be understood by every person, accept this. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey, and that doesn't make your journey any less real. You might be healing, and they think you're being distant. You might be setting boundaries, and they call you arrogant. You might be focused, and they say you've changed. Let them say what they want. The truth is, they're not wrong from their perspective. But that perspective is limited by ego, by insecurity, by a lack of knowledge or compassion. And you cannot spend your life lowering yourself to meet someone where they refuse to grow. Instead, rise with grace, rise with silence, rise with compassion, even for those who misunderstand you. Because their inability to see your heart has more to do with their own vision than with your reality. And remember, the one who matters most sees everything. He knows your effort. He knows your struggles. He knows the patience you're holding on to. So don't let limited minds hold back your limitless journey. Keep walking, even if misunderstood, because the right people, the ones meant to be in your life, won't need explanations. They'll just feel your sincerity. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest obstacles to your growth is not your failure. It's your obsession with being accepted. We want people to like us. We want to be understood, supported, approved. But sometimes in seeking their approval, we lose our own identity. You cannot grow and please everyone at the same time, because true growth demands change, and change often threatens people. The moment you begin to break old patterns, the moment you stop entertaining what drains you, the moment you start speaking less and doing more, people will react. Some will question you, others will withdraw. Some might even walk away. And it hurts. It hurts to be misunderstood, especially by those you once held close. But that pain is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're shedding what no longer aligns with your future. You must let go of the need to be liked by everyone. You must stop tailoring your every move to avoid disappointing others. Because the more you seek to be liked, the more you'll say yes when your heart is screaming no. The more you'll stay in places you've outgrown, the more you'll silence your voice just to avoid conflict. But growth, real, spiritual, lasting growth, requires courage. Courage to stand alone if needed. Courage to make decisions that may not make sense to the crowd, but make peace in your soul. Let go of approval. Let go of the need to explain your peace. And you'll notice something beautiful. The more you detach from being liked, the more you're drawn to what is right. And what is right will always bring you closer to your Creator. So grow quietly, consistently, with faith, and leave the approval to the one who created you with divine purpose. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes in life we fight battles that don't need to be fought. We argue to prove a point. We raise our voice to feel heard. We push back just to be right. But let me ask you, even if you win the argument, was it worth the cost of your peace? You see, being right isn't always the highest victory. Being at peace is when you constantly try to correct others, defend your every action, and win every misunderstanding. You may gain a temporary sense of satisfaction, but deep down you lose something more valuable: your calm, your dignity, your closeness to your Lord. The Prophet taught us that whoever leaves an argument, even when they are right, Allah will build for them a house in paradise. Why? Because peace is more beloved than pride. Because letting go of ego is a sign of strength, not weakness. So the next time someone accuses you, misunderstands your silence, or tries to pull you into unnecessary conflict, ask yourself, do I want to be right or do I want to be at peace? Because not every opinion needs a reaction. Not every misunderstanding needs a lecture. Not every attack needs a defense. Let your peace be your protection. Let your silence be your reply. And let your character be your shield. The more you walk away from arguments for the sake of your peace, the more you walk toward Allah. And that is a win far greater than being right. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there's one thing I want you to take from all of this, it's this: you do not need to explain yourself to walk in the light of purpose. You were not created to be understood by everyone. You were created to serve your Creator, to grow, to rise, and to find peace in His remembrance. The more you try to be everything for everyone, the more you lose yourself. But the moment you choose silence over argument, focus over distraction, sincerity over validation, that is the moment you begin to heal. That is the moment you start growing into the version of yourself that was always meant to emerge. And yes, it will be lonely at times. People may talk, they may judge, they may misunderstand, but keep walking with humility, with faith, and with quiet strength. Because the one who sees your struggles, the one who knows your heart, the one who writes your story, He is enough. So stop explaining, start focusing. And let your life be a reflection of your purpose, not a reaction to their opinions. May Allah fill your heart with peace that no words can disturb. May He grant you strength to remain silent when silence is better. And may He bless your journey even when the world doesn't understand it. Ameen.